Good morning, Frank. Well, that's right. We are inside what's going to be one of the largest biologic drug factories in the U.S. Now, this right here, this is a bioreactor, and this is used to produce monoclonal antibodies. Each one holds up to 20,000 liters. And just to give you a sense of how big these are, each tank spans 3 floors, and there will be 16 of them by the time the second phase opens in 2028. And so giving this whole capacity about the ability to produce about 50 million doses of medicine each year. Now, it's taken Fujifilm 5 years to bring this factory from idea to reality, and that's actually pretty quick for something of this size and complexity. And of course, Frank, the timing couldn't be better here. Fujifilm's whole goal is to give its customers flexibility.
There's no question that when you have these discussions like tariff or like COVID or like any other disruption to the supply chain, it creates a need for flexibility. So we can just happen to, this facility is built before some of these discussions, but it's definitely built to handle supply chain agility should demand go up and down.
Now, President Trump has talked about giving pharma about a year or so to move manufacturing to the U.S. before he hits the industry with potential tariffs. But even just moving production to an existing facility, not building up like this one, that can take 2 to 3 years. And most drugs actually aren't made here. Now, that is starting to change. We're seeing more companies building in the U.S. right down the road from here. Amgen's expanding its factory, and Genentech's about to break ground on one later this month. So there is more to come, Frank.
Angelica, how do the investments that we're seeing, you're kind of pointing out some of them, some in North Carolina, some in Indiana, how are the investments we're seeing here in the U.S. compare to the rest of the world?
Now, it's interesting. McKinsey actually found that between the U.S. and Europe over the last few years, the investments were pretty split. But when you look at last year and then particularly this year, you see a divergence where companies are increasingly investing in the U.S. and really investments in Europe have scaled back. And now the U.S. does have a really big game of catch-up to play. We are behind Europe. About almost half of our injectable drug products here that are sold in the U.S. come from Europe. They at least originate there, and only 17% originate in the U.S. Now, pharmaceutical manufacturing is complex, but that, a country of origin, is a critical step because that's how we look at these things in terms of tariffs.